The chapel doors burst open with a thunderous bang, and a tiny girl in a rumpled pink dress sprinted down the aisle, her braids flying wildly. "Please, please marry my aunt," she wailed, tears streaming down her flushed cheeks, halting the ceremony mid-vow. The bride, stunning in white lace, froze at the altar, her eyes locking onto the child, but she already knew this moment was coming, a secret storm brewing in her heart for months. Piper Thompson stood there, veil fluttering in the sudden breeze from the open doors, her bouquet trembling in her hands. The guests gasped, a wave of murmurs rippling through the pews of the quaint New England church in Vermont, where autumn leaves painted the landscape in fiery reds and golds. Her groom Alex, a kind-faced architect with a gentle smile, turned pale, his hand still poised to slip the ring on her finger. But Piper's mind raced back. Not to Alex but to Riley, the woman who had shattered her world and pieced it back together in ways she never imagined. It all started 2 years ago in the bustling streets of Boston, where Piper worked as a graphic designer in a hip downtown firm. She was 28, ambitious, with a laugh that could light up a room and a penchant for late-night coffee runs. Riley Harper, 30, was the new photographer hired for a collaborative project, a free-spirited soul from California, with sun-kissed skin, messy waves of auburn hair, and eyes that sparkled like the Pacific Ocean. Their first meeting was electric. Riley's camera captured Piper's portrait for a campaign, but it was the off-the-cuff conversation afterward that sparked something deeper. "You have this fire in your eyes," Riley had said, lowering her lens with a grin. "Like you're about to conquer the world, or at least this photo shoot." Piper blushed, unused to such direct compliments from women, but Riley's warmth drew her in. They bonded over shared dreams. Piper's love for storytelling through design, Riley's passion for capturing raw human emotions. What began as professional lunches turned into weekend hikes in the Berkshires, where they'd talk for hours about life, loss, and love. Piper had always dated men, safe and predictable, but Riley awakened something dormant, a pull she couldn't ignore. One rainy evening in Piper's cozy apartment overlooking the Charles River, as thunder rumbled outside, Riley leaned in during a movie marathon. Their kiss was tentative at first, then fervent, a release of pent-up longing. "I've never felt this way," Piper whispered, her heart pounding. Riley pulled back, searching her eyes. "Me neither. But if we're doing this, we do it right, no hiding." Their relationship blossomed in secrecy at first, navigating the complexities of coming out in a world that wasn't always kind. Piper's family, conservative folks from a small Vermont town, would need time. Riley's sister, Megan, was supportive, and her niece, little Emma, the same girl now causing chaos at the wedding, was Riley's world. Emma adored Piper from the start, calling her Auntie Pip, during family outings to Fenway Park or ice cream runs in Quincy Market. But cracks formed. Riley's photography career demanded travel, assignments in New York, LA, even abroad. Piper, tied to her job, felt the distance gnaw at her. Arguments escalated. Riley accused Piper of not committing fully, of fearing her family's judgment. "You say you love me, but you're still living half in the closet," Riley had snapped one night over Skype from a hotel in Chicago. Then came the betrayal. Piper discovered Riley had reconnected with an ex, a fellow photographer named Jordan, during a shoot in San Francisco. It wasn't physical, at least that's what Riley swore, but the emotional intimacy in their messages cut deep. "I was lonely," Riley confessed when confronted back in Boston, "but it meant nothing. You're my everything." Piper couldn't forgive easily. The trust shattered like glass. They broke up in a storm of tears and slammed doors, Piper retreating to her family's farm in Vermont for solace. There, she reconnected with Alex, a childhood friend who'd always harbored feelings for her. He was steady, uncomplicated, a safe harbor after the tempest of Riley. Within months they were engaged, planning a wedding that symbolized a return to normalcy. Yet Riley lingered in Piper's thoughts. Late-night texts from Riley, pleading for another chance, went unanswered at first. But one evening, as Piper stared at her engagement ring under the porch light, she replied, "It's over. I'm moving on." Riley's response was heartbreaking. "I know. But Emma misses you. She thinks you're family." Emma, the 7-year-old bundle of energy who'd drawn pictures of Auntie Pip and Auntie Riley holding hands. Piper had grown to love her like her own, teaching her to sketch cartoons during visits. Now, as the little girl stood panting in the aisle, her plea echoing off the wooden beams, Piper's world tilted. "Emma, honey," Piper said softly, kneeling despite her gown. "What are you doing here?" The girl clutched a crumpled drawing. A stick figure wedding with 3 people at the altar. "Aunt Riley is sad without you. She said you're supposed to marry her, not him." She pointed accusingly at Alex. Gasps turned to whispers. Alex's face hardened. "Piper? What's this about?" Riley appeared at the door then, disheveled from the drive, her eyes red-rimmed. "I'm sorry. I tried to stop her, but she insisted." Her voice broke. "Piper, we need to talk." The ceremony halted. Guests shifting uncomfortably. Piper's mother stood, confusion etched on her face. This was the high society event of the season, catered by Boston's finest, flowers from local farms, and now it was unraveling. In the vestry, away from prying eyes, the confrontation unfolded. "Why now?" Piper demanded, her voice a mix of anger and ache. Riley sank into a chair, Emma clinging to her leg. "Because I can't let you make this mistake. Alex is great, but he's not who you love. I messed up, Piper. I know that. But these past months without you, it's been hell. I ended things with Jordan for good before we even broke up. It was a stupid lapse. I've been in therapy working on myself." Piper paced, her train swishing. "You think showing up with Emma will fix everything? This is my wedding day." Emma tugged at Piper's dress. "Please, Auntie Pip. Aunt Riley cries every night." The words pierced Piper. She remembered her own tears, the nights staring at old photos of Riley laughing on the beach in Cape Cod. The love hadn't faded. It had simmered, waiting. Alex knocked softly, entering with a resigned expression. "I think I always knew there was someone else. If this is what your heart wants." The decision loomed, a crossroads of the soul. Piper glanced at Riley, the woman who'd taught her to embrace her true self, and at Emma, the innocent bridge between them. As the sun dipped lower, casting golden hues through the stained glass windows, Piper felt the weight of every eye in the chapel. She excused herself from the vestry, needing air, and stepped into the crisp Vermont afternoon. The rolling hills, dotted with apple orchards, seemed mocking in their serenity. How had her carefully constructed life led to this chaos? Back inside, Riley comforted Emma with a hug, whispering assurances. "It's okay, Bug. Auntie Pip just needs time." But Riley's own heart raced. She'd driven 3 hours from Boston after Emma overheard her sobbing on the phone to Megan. "Why can't Auntie Pip come back?" the girl had asked, and in a moment of desperation Riley had confessed too much. Emma, with childlike determination, had demanded they fix it by crashing the wedding. Riley regretted it now, seeing the pain in Piper's eyes. Their love had been a whirlwind, passionate dates in hidden Boston speakeasies, stolen weekends in Provincetown, where the LGBTQ+ community welcomed them with open arms. Riley had introduced Piper to pride parades, to the joy of living authentically. But her own insecurities, born from a fractured childhood and foster care, had sabotaged it all. Megan arrived soon after, breathless from speeding over. "Riley, what the hell? You could have called me first." As Riley's older sister, Megan had always been the rock, raising Emma after her husband's passing. She pulled Riley aside. "If you love her, fight fair. Not like this." Meanwhile, Piper sat on a bench outside, Alex joining her. "Talk to me," he said gently. He'd been her confidant since high school, the boy next door who'd proposed under the stars last spring. "Is Riley the one? The ex you mentioned vaguely?" Piper nodded, tears welling. "I thought I could move on. Be the daughter my parents expect. But loving her, it changed me." Alex sighed, taking her hand. "Then go to her. I want you happy, Piper. Not settling." His selflessness stung. Piper hugged him, whispering thanks as guests began filtering out, the reception tent standing abandoned with untouched champagne. Re-entering the church, Piper found Riley alone, Emma with Megan in the car. "We need to hash this out," Piper said, her voice steady despite the turmoil. They walked to the altar, where vows had nearly been exchanged. Riley spoke first. "I betrayed your trust. Those messages with Jordan, they were me seeking validation when I felt you pulling away. But I cut her off completely. I've been volunteering at a LGBTQ plus youth center, helping kids like I once was. It made me realize how much I need you, how much we could build together. Piper's anger flared. You think therapy erases the hurt? I cried for weeks, Riley. And now you drag Emma into it. Riley winced. That was wrong. But Emma loves you. She sees us as a family. Remember our trip to the Grand Canyon last summer? You taught her to spot constellations. That's the life I want, with you. Memories flooded. Lazy Sundays in bed with coffee and newspapers, Riley's head on her shoulder. The way Riley's laugh echoed in art galleries. But doubt lingered. What if you stray again? I won't. I've grown. And if you give me a chance, I'll prove it every day. They talked for hours as dusk fell, the church emptying. Piper's parents approached warily. Her mother, Evelyn, a no-nonsense teacher, frowned. Piper, what's going on? Who's this woman? Taking a deep breath, Piper came out fully. Mom, Dad. Riley is the person I love. I'm gay. Or bisexual. Whatever label, it's her. Shock registered, but her father, a quiet farmer, surprised her. We just want you happy, kiddo. If she's it, then okay. Relief washed over Piper, but the road ahead loomed. Alex left gracefully, wishing them well. As night descended, Piper and Riley drove back to Boston together, Emma asleep in the back with Megan following. In the weeks that followed, reconciliation wasn't easy. They attended couples counseling in a cozy office near Harvard Square, unpacking layers of hurt. Riley shared her fears of abandonment. Piper admitted her struggle with identity. Slowly, trust rebuilt like mending a quilt stitch by stitch. Emma became their glue. Family dinners turned into traditions. Pizza nights watching Disney movies, where Emma would snuggle between them. Are you married now? She'd ask innocently. Not yet, Piper would tease, glancing at Riley with a spark. But shadows crept in. Jordan resurfaced, emailing Riley about a joint exhibition. Riley deleted it immediately, showing Piper. See? No secrets. Yet, Piper's insecurities festered. One evening after a long day, she accused Riley of lingering feelings. Why did she contact you if it's over? It was professional. Riley shot back. You're the one who almost married someone else. The argument escalated, doors slamming. Piper stormed out, wandering Boston streets, rain soaking her. She ended up at their old meeting spot, a bench by the river. There, she realized, love wasn't perfect. It was choosing each other daily. Returning home, she found Riley waiting with hot cocoa. I'm sorry, they said in unison, embracing. Their bond deepened, attending pride events hand in hand, Piper fully out to friends and colleagues. Work flourished. Piper landed a promotion. Riley's photos featured in a national magazine. But fate tested them again. Megan fell ill. A sudden diagnosis of breast cancer. Riley devoted herself to her sister, shuttling between hospitals and home. Piper stepped up, caring for Emma, balancing school runs with her job. In the hospital waiting room one night, as machines beeped softly, Riley broke down. What if I lose her? She's all the family I have left. Piper held her. You have me. And Emma. We're family now. Megan pulled through after surgery, her recovery a testament to resilience. It brought them closer, highlighting life's fragility. As spring bloomed, Piper proposed on a picnic in the public garden, under swan boats gliding by. Marry me, Riley. Let's build that life. Tears in her eyes, Riley said yes. Planning their wedding was joyous, intimate, at a seaside venue in Maine, with Emma as flower girl. Invites went out to accepting family and friends. But on the eve, doubt hit Riley. What if I'm not enough? What if I mess up again? Piper cupped her face. We all mess up. But we choose love. Every time. The wedding day dawned bright over the rocky Maine coast, waves crashing like applause. Piper and Riley exchanged vows in a cliffside gazebo, surrounded by wildflowers and the salty breeze. Emma, beaming in her role, tossed petals with glee. Now you're really ants together, she declared, drawing laughs. Their honeymoon in Napa Valley was blissful wine tastings, hot air balloon rides at sunrise. Back in Boston, they settled into married life, buying a brownstone in Back Bay. Piper redesigned the interior with vibrant art. Riley set up a darkroom in the basement. Domesticity suited them. Mornings started with coffee and kisses, evenings with walks along the esplanade. Emma spent weekends, turning their home into a hub of laughter and crayon masterpieces. Yet life threw curves. Piper's firm faced layoffs. Stress mounted. Riley's travel picked up again. A documentary project in the Southwest. Distance reignited old fears. During one separation, Piper confided in a friend over drinks. What if she meets someone else out there? The friend reassured her, but seeds of doubt grew. When Riley returned, Piper's welcome was cool. You barely called. I was in the desert, no signal. Riley protested. But the tension simmered. Then came the real blow. Scrolling through Riley's phone for a photo with permission, Piper found deleted messages from Jordan. Old ones, but why keep evidence? Confrontation erupted in their kitchen, pots clanging. You said it was over. Why hide this? Riley paled. I forgot they were there. It was before us reconciling. I swear nothing now. But Piper felt betrayed anew. How can I trust you? Riley left in tears, staying with Megan. Days blurred into anguish. Piper threw herself into work, but emptiness gnawed. Emma noticed during a visit. Why is Aunt Riley sad? Did I do something? Piper hugged her. No, sweetie. Adults make mistakes. Seeking clarity, Piper drove to Vermont to her parents' farm. Sitting by the old barn, she reflected on their journey, from hidden love to public vows. Was it worth the pain? Her mother found her. Love isn't easy, Piper. Your father and I fought plenty. But forgiveness builds strength. Inspired, Piper called Riley. Come home. We need to talk, really talk. They met at their bench by the river, autumn leaves swirling. Riley arrived with flowers. I should have deleted everything sooner. My past doesn't define us. Piper nodded. And I need to let go of paranoia. We're in this together. They recommitted, attending more therapy, setting boundaries like weekly check-ins during travel. Healing took time, but growth followed. Riley's documentary won awards, featuring stories of LGBTQ+ resilience. Piper started a side hustle, designing inclusive wedding invitations. Emma thrived. Her school projects often about her two aunts. At a family barbecue, she announced, When I grow up, I want a love like yours, strong and fun. But drama peaked when Jordan appeared at Riley's award ceremony in New York. Congrats, she said casually, but her eyes lingered. Piper, by Riley's side, felt jealousy surge. Later in their hotel, she voiced it. She still wants you. Riley laughed softly. But I only want you. Let's prove it. Dance with me. They swayed in the room, music from a phone, reaffirming their bond. Months later, tragedy struck. Megan's cancer returned, aggressive. The family rallied, chemo sessions, hospital vigils. Riley was a pillar, but exhaustion showed. One night as Megan slept, Piper held Riley in the hallway. You're amazing. I love you more every day. Megan passed peacefully that winter, leaving Emma orphaned. In her will, she named Riley and Piper as guardians. Grief enveloped them, but they honored Megan by raising Emma with love. Legal adoption followed, solidifying their family. Emma adjusted, her pleas now for bedtime stories. Tell me how you met, she'd beg. Piper and Riley would recount, editing for young ears, emphasizing the romance. As years passed, their love matured. Less fireworks, more steady flame. They volunteered at shelters, advocating for LGBTQ+ rights, inspired by their story. On their 5th anniversary, they renewed vows in Vermont, the same chapel now a symbol of redemption. Emma, 12 now, stood proudly. You two are my heroes. Piper whispered to Riley. From that chaotic day to this, worth every tear. Riley smiled. Absolutely. With Emma fully integrated, their Boston home buzzed with teenage energy. Homework battles, soccer practices, first crushes. Piper, now 35, balanced a thriving design agency. Riley, 37, shifted to local projects, photographing community events. But old wounds resurfaced subtly. During a pride parade, Riley bumped into Jordan, now married herself. Innocent chat, but Piper overheard laughs igniting sparks. Why her again? Piper asked later, voice tight. Riley sighed. Coincidence. You're my wife, trust that. They worked through it, but Piper's therapy sessions revealed deeper issues. fear of abandonment from her own coming out struggles. Meanwhile, Emma navigated adolescence. At 14, she confided in them about liking a girl at school. Is that okay? Piper and Riley enveloped her in support. Always, Riley said. Love is love. Helping Emma emboldened them. They started a support group for queer families, hosting meetings in their living room. Success brought visibility. A local magazine profiled them as Boston's power couple. But fame invited scrutiny. Anonymous online trolls questioned their fitness as parents, dredging up Riley's past indiscretions. The hate mail stung. One night Piper broke down. What if they're right? What if I'm not enough? Riley held her. They're wrong. We're stronger together. Emma, overhearing, joined the hug. You guys are the best moms ever. The term moms warmed them. Emma had started calling them that organically. But conflict escalated when Riley was offered a dream job. Lead photographer for a national LGBTQ+ campaign, requiring months in D.C. I can't leave you too, Riley said. Piper encouraged her. Go. We'll visit. This is your passion. Reluctantly, Riley accepted. Video calls bridged the gap, but loneliness crept in. In D.C., Riley met diverse activists, including a charismatic organizer named Taylor. Their collaboration was professional, but late-night strategy sessions blurred lines. One evening, Taylor confessed feelings. You're incredible, Riley. Riley pulled back. I'm married. Happily. She called Piper immediately transparent. It happened, but I shut it down. Piper's heart raced, echoes of betrayal ringing. Do you have feelings? No, Riley assured. It reminded me how much I miss you. Piper flew down that weekend. In a cozy DC cafe, they reaffirmed. No more long distances, Piper said. Come home soon. Riley wrapped up early, returning to fanfare. Emma's handmade banner, Piper's surprise dinner. But the incident lingered, fueling a major argument. Why do these people keep appearing? Piper yelled. Because life happens. Riley countered. But I choose you always. They separated briefly. Riley at a friend's, Piper with Emma. Reflection time. Emma mediated. You love each other. Fix it like before. Wise beyond years, she reminded them of their roots. Reunited, they planned a family trip to California, Riley's homeland. Beaches, hikes, healing. There, Riley shared her foster care stories, vulnerabilities laid bare. Piper opened about her fears. Bond renewed, they returned stronger. Years flew. Emma graduated high school, heading to college in New York. Empty nest hit hard, but they adapted. Date nights, travel. On their 10th anniversary, in a quiet Maine cabin, Piper reflected. From that wedding crash to here, unbelievable. Riley kissed her. Our love story's epic. But life twisted again. Piper faced a health scare. A lump, benign after tests, but it shook them. In the hospital, Riley never left her side. We're in this forever. Recovery brought perspective. They downsized, moved to Vermont full-time, opening a gallery showcasing Riley's work and Piper's designs. Community embraced them. Mentors to young queer couples. Emma visited often, now with her girlfriend. You paved the way, she said. Their story, once drama-filled, became one of enduring love. Proof that betrayal can lead to deeper bonds, if met with forgiveness. As decades unfolded, Piper and Riley's life in Vermont became a haven. Their gallery, Harper Thompson Visions, drew visitors from afar, blending photography and design in exhibits on love and identity. At 50 and 52, they embodied grace, silver streaks in hair, laughter lines from joy. Emma, now 30, a successful lawyer in Boston, brought her wife and adopted son for holidays. Grandparenting suited them. Little Theo's giggles echoed through the farmhouse, chasing chickens in the yard. But age brought challenges. Riley's arthritis limited shoots. Piper's eyesight required glasses for intricate designs. They adapted, co-creating digital art. Remember Emma's Plea? Piper would say. Riley chuckled. Best interruption ever. Their love, tempered by trials, shone brighter. No more betrayals, just unwavering support. Community involvement grew. They spoke at schools, advocating acceptance. One talk inspired a teen to come out. That's our legacy, Riley said. Tragedy revisited when Emma's wife passed in an accident. Devastated, Emma moved back temporarily with Theo. Piper and Riley rallied, providing solace. "We're here," Piper assured. Nights of shared grief strengthened family ties. Theo's presence healed wounds. As Riley turned 60, a surprise party overflowed with friends, from Boston colleagues to Vermont neighbors. Toasts celebrated their journey, from secret romance to iconic couple. In quiet moments, doubts faded entirely. "We've weathered it all," Piper whispered. Riley nodded. "And I'd do it again." Their final chapter was serene. Health declined gradually, Riley first, a heart condition. In hospice, surrounded by loved ones, Riley held Piper's hand. "You were my greatest adventure." Piper, tears flowing, replied, "And you my home." Riley passed peacefully, autumn leaves falling outside, like their beginning. Piper grieved deeply but honored her by continuing the gallery, with Emma's help. At Riley's memorial, stories poured out of love's resilience, humanity's depth. Piper lived on, mentoring Theo, who showed artistic flair. On her deathbed years later, Piper smiled at visions of Riley. "Wait for me." Reunited in spirit, their tale endured. In books Emma wrote, exhibits preserved. A story of drama, emotion, romance, ultimately human. Love triumphs through forgiveness, creating families from broken pieces. The little girl's plea? It sparked a lifetime of profound connection, proving that even in betrayal's shadow, light prevails.